So tell just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you. You're married, your family. I never get the idea that you're trying to impress me. I never get the idea that you're full of yourself. Not that, we all can struggle with pride issues, and we do at times. But I never, and I've never heard you try to sell yourself to me. I've only heard you try to help me. And that's affected how, because my business model was very different coming in. Even though I've, been a pastor and everything else like that, my business model didn't match up with what was in my heart. A lot of times I struggled with that.
Right.
And just being able to dialogue with you and become a friend with you has helped to, there are other factors, obviously, and other people, but and God most directly, but he used you to help to give me that freedom just to be able to say, you know what, this does not fit. This is not me.
Right.
And from that, it's interesting because even in the last few months, I've just seen when a lot of people are saying on this end that, the market is constricting and it's volatile. And I've just noticed people calling me up and saying, hey, can you help me with this? I've got a question about this. So it's just mirroring what you're saying. And it really is in my heart that I want to help people. And that's why I'm actually doing these podcasts. I'm not doing this for any reason. I want to put you forward. I want you to put you in their life.
Right.
And have them have a Bill Gross that they can go to, or at least they can have as someone that they can be encouraged to walk out who they are and who God made them to be, where God has them, whether it's real estate, whether it's being a doctor. So in these last couple of minutes, I just want to throw it your way. And is there anything that you would want to say to folks that might tune into this?
Well, first thing is that my heart is so warm that you would compliment me in that way. Of all things to say, it just feels so good, to have somebody say, I appreciate you for helping me, rather than, wow, you have 10 million views and I'm really impressed by you. I don't have 10 million views. I'm just saying, as opposed to that person.
Right. Right.
And I think at the risk of being too spiritual, because you've also given back to me a lot. I don't know that you recognize it as much. I went through a very challenging spiritual period where I changed from one rabbi to another. I went from one spiritual leader or mentor to another, and you were kind of my interim as I went down the path of finding that new relationship and help guide me. When I had the person to turn to, it was really you at that time as that mentor or spiritual leader. And you're not Jewish, but somehow you made that work for me. I think the thing that I would say, at the risk of sounding too spiritual, I'm not a full-time rabbi. I'm not a rabbi at all. I'm not a pastor. I'm just a guy doing business who happens to have strong faith in God, but that strength is my foundation. Mm-hmm. And we say that, and I think sometimes we say it and forget what that really means. I think that, that we work is because we're commanded to in the Bible. It's not a coincidence. I think there's a spiritual battle in the world going on in so many different levels, and multimedia is just attacking us. You can't watch a sporting event without, I think, spiritual forces of evil attacking you. Now, you can set up filters and pay attention and watch it with your wife and tune out of certain things or whatever, not get caught up in the rabbit holes. But it is overwhelming. You can't watch a sporting event anymore or entertainment or a movie theater without being attacked nonstop. On the flip side, that means that we therefore have to be clear on our mission and play as hard as the forces of evil do. The forces of good need to play as clear and as hard as well. And so I think that what you see in me is I look back at my life and realize a lot of those mistakes in my business and said, I don't want to do that anymore. And I'm gonna do the best I can of my work as a reflection of a relationship with God, not tempered by that relationship, not limited by that relationship, but no, what's God want me to do in business? And do that. And the rest will just have to take care of itself. And it has taken care of itself. And so
Yeah.
I think and it sounds arrogant, and I'm only saying this because you didn't bring it up, and I appreciate your compliment, but I really just want to urge people, if you're not feeling in your heart that alignment between your work and your person, it's because you're not aligned, and
Right.
probably means you're not aligned with the
Right.
ultimate. And to your point, for example, when people say the market is this, the market is that, at a theoretical level, when you say something else has power over your life, you are worshiping that thing as being powerful, other than, if you're religious, there's only one power, that's God. So the market isn't hard or weak or strong or good or bad. It is. My job is to play the cards that are dealt to me the best that I can and best of my ability in a faithful manner. And so, I would never have felt the market, other than the day I was, looking at my situation, but I did see it as being overwhelming. I just felt that's the path I have to go through. God, how do I get through this path? And he gave me the support, and he gave me the way to get there. And so I think the thing I would say is, if it seems hard, you're probably not doing it right. If it seems hard emotionally, it means you're not aligned, and take the time to check yourself and get aligned.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, I would echo that. And it's what I've seen as well on my side is that it's a process as well. It's not like we ever necessarily arrive there, although I'd like to arrive there. Sometimes I feel like I'm closer to arriving than other times, but that process is very important. It's as important, or maybe more important, than the destination, because I know where my destination is, and I know who holds my destination. It's between here and now. It's those in between moments, listening for God and adjusting with how he wants you to adjust.
Right.
And so that, I again appreciate you. I appreciate the time